What a strange face to see in my day of agony. Have you been sent by Cloud? Is this some cruel play of fate? Now that Mother's gone, won't you leave me? You couldn't possibly understand any of this, could you? A pity. If only you were as simple as Cloud. You'd kill me on the spot. Would you drive that blade through me? No. You don't strike me as that type. You seem lonely. Why do your eyes remind me of my own? It's strange, alien, to have feelings freed while I was under Mother's control, while I had nothing left. My whole purpose was simple. I had finally gotten what I wanted all this time: freedom, or the lack thereof, chains to bind my sanity down. And yet still, the heinous acts of which I committed were unforgivable. So that when I was free again, I realized it was too late for me. And yet at the same time, even with Cloud's incessant attempts at my life, he failed. And sullen, defeated, completely without a purpose, I laid down here, intending to peacefully pass into dust. Yet here you are, meddling in my business, perhaps by pure chance. Why aren't you afraid of me? You're so strange, laying down beside me. What makes you think I wouldn't kill you? I'm a man without anything at all to lose. I've lost it all. Still draw breath. What difference does it make? One reason why I shouldn't. Won't you give me one? You're interesting. I suppose I can spare you for that. What's the point in taking a life? My purpose is gone. I've seen a future, many futures, where I perish, where my beloved, yes, my mother, faces grave danger. Yet I don't know what to do in order to save anyone. You see, Cloud, the one who wishes me harm, who wishes to stop my plan, is the very pinnacle of a thorn in my side. What's more, there is no future for me. So what purpose does my life have? Am I doomed to repeat until my soul breaks? As of now, that seems the only path. You are awfully calm for someone with a blade at your neck. Strange. You remind me of myself. Haphazard. Without limits. There is no purpose to fearing injury or death. Not now. Yet you give me that smile. Why? Perhaps it's a reason. A key to solving this anguish that I call my destiny. Come, sit closer. What have you to lose? If I wanted you dead, you would have been already. You'd be nothing more but a cold, lifeless. No, I'd rather not think of such horrible images. After what I've done, I did it for something I believe in. But now, what was it for, if it's only going to repeat, ending in failure? No one saved. My purpose, what is it? You claim to know it. What a presumptuous and idiotic assumption. You've met me only moments before, yet you would presume to understand my struggle. What an interesting, if not aloof, take. I'm listening. There's not much point. But none of this truly matters. What have I to lose? You're wise or stupid. Either way, for now I'm convinced. What is it? What is this grand design you have for me to combat fate? To ignore Cloud? Simple, but it's impossible. Even if I wanted to, it would only end when one of us falls. Do you really think life is that easy? Perhaps there is something to learn. Perhaps I could find a different path. But what kind of path is suitable to someone trained in murder? Someone meant only to assert dominance through sheer force. That is my purpose. So what am I to you? Do you not fear me? You're quite the enigma, aren't you? Are you sure this isn't just manipulation? I wouldn't be angry, even if it was. I'd resign myself to the dust of my failures. So, do you have anything to do with him? Cloud? No. You're not lying. These eyes can tell many things. And you may be at your wit's end. But you're not a liar. There's conviction. Conviction that cannot be faked in those words. I enjoy it. For what trifling it means. Why would you ask me? If I feel something. Of course I feel. Just like anything else. Just my priorities. They're much different than another, less pointed being. What? You suggest I just ignore my future and live in the moment? Naive. But, given the circumstances, it may be the only thing I haven't tried. Then, what is it? This grandiose lesson you seem to wish to teach me? How am I supposed to, when my sole purpose Before? Before what? What exactly are you suggesting? So I should just follow you and pretend like my eons of failure doesn't exist. A woeful and hopeless endeavor. And yet, something about your confidence, it's almost adorable. Your naivete, it makes me want to follow you. You're certainly different than I imagined. This end, which I found. How am I supposed to understand you if I can't let go? If I don't want to? Does that mean I'm truly broken? I wonder, what do you see when you look me in the eyes? Well, so your excuse for all this is that you have nothing to lose, just like me. If that was true, then what drew you to me? Perhaps kindred spirits. I don't know. But at this point, I'm willing to see it through for what it's worth. Just have no expectations, and you won't be disappointed. A man who works towards one goal, and one goal alone, will only ever understand that goal. Is that not true? Again, with your naivety. Do you believe me some kind of wistful fool? Perhaps that must be what I look like. A fool, stuck in my ways, so much so that I've struggled in vain, knowing my fate is to lose. No matter which path I take, no matter what ruthless step forward, Cloud will always find a way. It's a beautiful irony, isn't it? I'm stronger than him, faster, and much more wise. And yet here he is, a fake, a fraud. That's my legacy. Dying to someone who's a fake as the genuine, real thing. The frustration, the anger. Perhaps it was immature of me to take it out on this tree. It did nothing wrong. Just like many who got in my way. But now, that intimidation, that follow-through, my pride, it all means nothing. If I am destined to fail, why should I move to begin with? Success in another way. And what could possibly be worth my time? I suppose that's a worthy point. I am without purpose. You presume to be able to give me one worthy of my talents, my passion. What could you know? What could you possibly understand that you're so confident? And just what is this supposed to mean? What am I to do with this? If it's not for killing, if it's not for my purpose, no. You're right. There is no truth in a purpose that ends in failure. So, what am I to take this flower crown as? A crown of my failure? Are you mocking me? Do you realize how absurd you sound? To toss away my blade. What else do I have, if not it? You presume to be something to me. But what makes you think you can have such meaning? Such an innocence. I remember a time when I had someone I wished to protect. Even before my relentless goal. It wasn't always so cut and dry, but I was changed forever. Something happened. I won't bore you with details, but now I am not that man anymore. What makes you think you can turn back the hands of time? Would you presume yourself above the very gods above? I like your confidence, but I loathe that innocence. Not because of you, but because it reminds me that there is much that I've had to trod on. Guilt. I'm above such things. I'm afraid neither you nor anyone could make me feel guilty, even if this blade passed through your flesh. Do you really think I would shed a tear for you? What a strange notion. You think I would? Then what's to stop me from cleaving you just like that tree before? Interesting. You still insist I toss away the only companion I've had thus far. You presume you're going to stay with me through all of this. Laughable. It's nothing more than empty words until action precedes it. Then show me your resolve. What's the meaning behind this? You embrace me. How am I supposed to? This is your resolve. And in what world would this resolve be enough? A peaceful one. How strange. I never wished for war. Peace was in my way, so it was merely a bystander. You and Cloud both remind me of those with wishful thinking and big hearts. And yet here we are, just you and me, in this deserted place. What makes you think your resolve is enough to change the unchanging? I can't. Not so simply. If I do, would I even be me? But that's not the purpose. There's something greater than myself at work, and to be free from it, I would have to devise a way to escape. Mother. Nothing. You shouldn't even know about this. You are skilled in making people more comfortable than they should be, which is strange. Me making such an obvious misstep. Am I truly at your mercy to such an extent? Incredible. Your charisma, your unassuming innocence. It's pierced me in ways I'm not sure I enjoy. I have more questions than answers. Are you sure that something broken can simply be mended? Are you sure that I won't kill you? That I won't end you for meddling in my affairs? You're a danger to everything I am. And yet, you have the confidence, the audacity to smile in front of me. Your boldness is staggering. And yet, here we are, endlessly. You won't leave, and I won't make you. This apathy that draws us forward. Why are we stagnating in this rut of behavior? Why do you smile? Why do you look at me with such hope? It's blinding. There's almost nothing I can say or do. Have you completely overpowered me without lifting a sword? With only lifting my chin? Absurd. I won't be done in like this. Your endless assuming will be your downfall. Do you think me so kind as to allow you to change my fate? You may have a point there. I wish for difference. The eons, the millennia I've spent in eternity. I seek a story to continue, more so even than to fulfill my destiny. I wish to break my destiny, no longer to be chained by that feeling, that obligation, which I spent everything, I gave everything to make the aspirations of which I was supposed to, my role, my grand stage that I was supposed to occupy, me and me alone. Yet now, you've come to steal my protagonist, nature, and I won't stop you. Again, your presumptuous, bold nature. It's staggering, beyond consuming, and yet it's the simplicity that I, a near perfect being, was swayed so easily. Do I regret it? Not yet, but that remains. And if you keep your promise, you're probably wondering what promise I'm speaking of. And yes, you did make one. You and I are entwined, at least for the moment. The ghosts of fate drew us together, two dead ends to combine to find a new one. Perhaps this will go to that place we seek. You seek me. You know so much, yet so little about me. yet you presume everything. I do not understand you, but I wish to, which is startling even to hear the words part from my lips. Shall I understand you more? I wonder, was this my fate all along? Then what of facing the guilt, the anguish I've caused? What does it mean for my future? I've told you from the start of our meeting, this would be something only if I see it worthwhile. And now, I'm more confused. You wish me to live as a normal being. How? For what reason? What grand scheme would be worth it? A scheme without any purpose. Then why? What drives you forward? You had given up. Why now is it any different than when you were laying beside me, waiting for fate to ring its final toll? You certainly remind me of someone. Someone I can only vaguely remember. But I'm glad you do. Perhaps there's more things I'll remember through this haze, this endless cycle. Maybe it's just that our paths led us to this infinite forest, endlessly wandering. Is it our hell or our heaven? Only time will tell what the fate we both hold has. But right now, the warmth of your hand isn't terrible. But why? I feel this is a betrayal to everything. And yet, somehow, feelings, they grow. This isn't what I asked for. I should kill you right now. Yet now, I only wonder what strange soul possessed you in order to reach this conclusion, in order to presume so much with your life at risk. Yet still you cling to me. Is my body so comfortable? It means nothing to me. At least if it means something, I couldn't tell you. I am a man without purpose, and nothing I do will change that. Is that not the truth? You, my enigma, my curiosity gets the best of me, because there's so much that contradicts itself. You who speaks only truth, twisted, messy truths, each one making less sense than the last, no form of logic, nothing. You don't work for a purpose. You exist for nothing. So why? Why is it your weak rhetoric, your empty words, have so much weight to them? Perhaps Cloud was always right. I was an idiot. Perhaps I still am. Or maybe I was right the entire time, but it didn't matter. It was never a question of right or wrong. It was only you and I. It was always a task beyond my means, my purpose. Maybe I'm not meant to know. This strange fate. I know not what to say to you, only to call you perplexing. But something about you, it feels warm. That's why I haven't flung you from my lap. That's why I've given you some special permissions. Enjoy them, because they're far beyond you. Oh, so you presume to understand that too? Then why is it your heart that beats fast, and not mine? You're quite terrible at hiding it. Those feelings, you're attracted to me. I wish I could understand simple pleasantries such as that. No, I think you're gorgeous for what it's worth. But I can't feel that. In place, there's emptiness. I wonder, can you make me feel? Is it worth my time to feel? Is it something meant for beings like me? Of course, your answer is simple, but to the point. I wish to know what you mean to me. What I am meant to mean to you. Obviously, I haven't resigned myself not to use this blade. But for now, I will use it for a less bloody cause, at least for now.